doon sa nabanggit sa sitwasyon ngayon? Yun ang ating tatanungin. So siguro dito po muna tayo sa pro-divorce. Ma'am, kayo po mauna.
Magsasalita ako bilang isang abogado ng mga abused women. Sa aking experience, makikita na talagang hindi sapat yung batas. Kasi kahit na yung mga abused women, whether physical, sexual abuse ito, may posibilidad pa rin na hindi ito mag-grant ng court. Makikita natin na, for example, kung gamitin natin yung psychological incapacity, ito ay subject to judicial interpretation. So, depende sa judge kung tingin niya, sapat nga yung grounds, diba? Sa psychological incapacity, you have to prove antecedents, incurability, gravity. So, napakahirap nito i-prove kasi kinakailangan mo pa ng psychologist, mahal ang abogado. At maliban dito, meron kami mga kaso na klaro na sinaktan, may verbal abuse, inihian pa yung mga anak dahil lasing, yung ganon, gambler. So dito, hindi pa nag-grant yung nullity niya. So ang sinasabi natin dito, hindi talaga sapat ang batas. Kung mayroong divorce, kung saan sinasabi na talagang hiwalay na, matagal nang hindi magkasundo, di ba sinasabi natin dito, ito yung batas na hinahanap natin, di ba? Kasi nga, habang walang divorce, patuloy ang pang-aabuso sa totoo lang. In fact, yung mga lalaki, malakas ang loob nila kasi sasabihin nila, kasal pa ako sa asawa ko, di ba? So ito sinasabi namin, kailangan ng mga abused women ng divorce kasi dito, masasabi na nila, closed na, may closure na, ayoko sa'yo, yung ganyan. Kaya dito, klaro na talagang kung merong divorce, di ba, yung mga abused women natin, matitigil ang pang-abuso, matitigil ang cycle of violence. Tapos sa psychological incapacity, ito ay mahal. Tapos ito ay, yun nga, meron pa nga mga judges na sasabihin nila, I do not easily grant, ito, quote-unquote ito, I do not easily grant nullity of marriages because it's against my religion. So dito, in this now, you have so-called an impartial judge, you have judges who use their religion.
Okay, so sinasabi po ninyo, mas mapapadali. Kumbaga, hindi na madadagdagan yung torture sa babae. And sa lalaki, kasi kung minsan yung babae naman na nambubugbog, ano?
Meron din, pero kadalasan
Lalaki. Okay. So, Attorney Lorna Kapunan.
No, ibig ko, first let me start by saying na ang US Bishop, the US is not a good example. Kasi sa US, meron tayong tinatawag na no-fault divorce. Ang panukalang batas dito sa Pilipinas ay hindi naman no-fault divorce. As a matter of fact, yung enumerate are five very specific grounds, no? So, ang heading ng discussion natin is only in the Philippines. The Philippines is the only country in the whole world that does not have a divorce.
Lahat meron?
Lahat meron.
Japan, Korea, Vietnam, meron?
Yes.
Lahat. Laos?
Where the seat of the church resides, the Vatican, there is divorce. Spain, which gave us 300 years of Catholicism, gave us divorce, has divorce. Even our own Philippine Catholic Church acknowledges that there are instances where a marriage has to be severed. And dyan naman ang galing yung ating Article 36 sa canon law, Bishop, under Canon 1095 sa canon ng Catholic Church, lifted dito ng legislators to make Article 36. What is Article 36? We call it by a very long name called Declaration of Nullity of Marriage. I call it a DAC. If it talks like a duck, walks like a duck, and smells like a duck, it is a duck. So it is divorce. Kasi pag tignan natin kung ano yung consequences ng Article 36, psychological incapacity, number 1, the marriage bonds are severed, same as divorce. You can revert back to your maiden name, same. Separation of property, dissolution of marital bonds, same as divorce. So call it a divorce. It is the hypocrisy of Congress who want to remain married to their wives and who want to keep their mistresses as well.
Parang gusto kong, i-extend. Pero hindi na ba, babalikan na lang natin si Attorney Kapuna. Parang gusto ko i-extend yung mistress, yung part ng mistress, okay.
Sasabihin nila, mahal kita, kaya lang may asawa ko, hindi kita pwedeng i-divorce yung asawa. Di ba ganun yan?
Para wala silang pananagutan sa kabit, gano'n.
to have your cake and eat it too. Yan, yung mga eat it too, yung mga yan.
Okay, so Representative Attorney for Office of the Solicitor General, tama po ba na hanggang ngayon?
Dati po.
Dati po.
Bago po ako nag-private practice.
Yes. Pero tama po ba na hanggang ngayon lahat ng mga nag-a-apply for annulment or legal or annulment kailangan dumaan sa OSG?
Hindi po. Ito po ay, jurisdictional ito. Ito po ay pagka nag-a-appeal po sila o kaya yung decision ay umakyat.
Karina,
Dadaan po
hindi
sa-
matatama yun. Kanya, ang tanong sa panel namin, bakit mahirap ang legal options ngayon, ay ang sagot dyan ay dahil sa inyo, dahil sa OSG. Kasi po, kailangan because precisely of the constitutional provision that says it is the interest of the state to preserve the marriage. The state is represented by the OSG. From the very start, filing of the complaint, kailangan may answer sila. Ang nangyayari, because may prosecuting fiscal at may OSG. For efficiency, napakalaki ng problemang, napakadaming kaso ang OSG, dinidesignate ng OSG ang prosecuting fiscal to represent the Office of the Solicitor General, which represents the state. So, every step of the way. Tama rin si Attorney Imbong, no? Why is it so difficult? Because almost automatic ang policy ng Office of the Solicitor General. Miski na yung judge, grinant na yung annulment, Article 36, nag-a-appeal pa rin ng OSG all the way. Miski na natalo sila sa Court of Appeals, ang OSG, pupunta pa sila sa Supreme Court. And so, even if we say that there are provisions...
Annulment lang, Supreme Court?
Yes. Miski na may kanya, tinatanong nila, pag meron akong mga kliyente, attorney, gaano ba katagal ang annulment na yan? I say, depende. Are you friendly or unfriendly with your spouse? Kasi kung friendly yan, pwedeng 6 months to 6 years. Kung unfriendly yan, pwedeng 20 years, forever yan. Kasi ang pinag-aawayan, hindi naman marriage ang pinag-aawayan, hindi naman mga anak. Because sometimes, it is the children who decide. In fact, more often than not, ang mga anak ang nagsasabing, Mommy or Daddy, sana matagal nyo nang hiniwalayan si Papa or si Tatay. Why? Because they can see a broken marriage. The problem with this anti-divorce enthusiasts is that they blame divorce for the breakdown of marriage. That is not true. It is not divorce that breaks down marriage. It is precisely divorce that sanctifies. It is divorce that preserves the institution called marriage. When there is no more marriage, when husband and wife have lost respect, when the children do not respect their parents, when there is no love anymore, what institution of marriage is there to protect?
Attorney Imbong, ano po ba?